Hi, first grade. We are back. And today, I skipped some pages. All right, so today we are starting lesson 2 in our books. Lesson 2 in our book starts on page 64. Should look like this. And today, I already said, right? What are some plant parts? So we are going to be talking about plant parts. And if there's time, hopefully I can show you some of my own plants, which will be kind of fun, I thought. Or weird. Either way, we're going to do some science today. So let's first go ahead and look up at the top. So you can see this picture, right? We've got a field of tulips. If any of you grow tulips, oh my gosh, I'm so jealous. I really want to, but I'm kind of scared. I feel like they're just so beautiful, I would kill them. I wouldn't be able to keep them healthy. Anyway, I digress. So we've got 2 different pictures of a tulip. And what is the difference between the 2 of them? Something is missing on this one, right? Exactly, the leaves. The leaves are missing on this one, so our job is to draw those leaves that are missing from that tulip. And while you guys are drawing that, I'm going to tell you about our words to know. We've got the word root, leaf, and stem. So the roots, as we know, are usually at the bottom of the plant. And then the leaves, right? That's where all the food is made. And root, leaf, stem. The stem, right? The stem is actually one of the most important structures of the plant itself, right? Because the stem holds it up, allows it to get to that sun, allows the transfer of nutrients and water all over the plant. So we are going to talk about those today. So let's go ahead and get started with My Planet Diary. Most of the ground in the tundra is frozen. That was a loud baby. I don't know if it was mine. It might have been. We'll see. I don't know. I keep hearing it. Do you hear it? Ugh, weird. Do you think plants will grow in the tundra? All right, so we know a couple of things about plants. We know that plants need water, sunlight, nutrients, air, and space. Did I miss anything? Right. So what's the one thing? So they've got air in the tundra. They could get nutrients from some of the soil. That one's going to be tricky, right? But the big thing I'm thinking that would be really hard is space, right? So if we skip ahead a tiny bit, right? There's a picture on the next page of this rose, right? And do you see these roots? Those look pretty long. Right, so going back to the tundra, it says only a few inches of soil in the tundra are not frozen. A few inches. So that means like the top, like this much. Are there a lot of plants that would be able to grow with just that much space for their roots to grow? I'm not sure. Right? There might be some plants that don't need a lot of space for those kind of roots. Like really small plants. I might think like maybe some types of grasses won't need super long roots. How many of you have ever pulled up some of your grass at your house or at school? I've done it too. Right? And so their roots aren't super long. Okay, so it says plants' roots need space. What did I just say? Space to grow underground. Some plants without roots can grow in the tundra, right? So, they don't have roots. Mosses are plants. Mosses do not have roots, and mosses can grow in the tundra. Do you think trees with long roots can grow in the tundra? Remember, we've got a couple of inches. Can I have a tree? Right? So part of the job of the roots is to keep the thing from falling over, right? The plant from falling over. And if you can only let's say the tree is just as tall as you are, right? And if you only had a little bit of space to put a root in, would that be able to hold up the whole tree? And why not? Right? Because I don't think that would work out very well, because there wouldn't be enough space for those roots to properly support the tree. Right? I wouldn't think so anyway. I'm sure you guys think the same thing because you're pretty smart, right? So, trees with long roots growing in the tundra. And additionally, look at this picture, guys. Do you see trees anywhere? I don't. To me, I can't tell if it's dirt or if it's really dry grass. But it doesn't look like anything's growing there. Nothing substantial anyway, right? All right. Parts of plants. Plants have different parts. The parts of the plant, the parts help the plant live and grow. The parts help the plant get what it needs. An iris and a tulip are plants. They have the same parts. They do not look alike, right? What makes them look different, right? You can't really see the leaves on this one, but I actually have an iris plant. It doesn't have flowers on it, so it's really ugly. And Leo kind of trimmed the leaves recently because it's just sad. It doesn't like my yard. Anyway, so the big difference is how the petals look, right? So the tulip petals come straight up, whereas the iris ones kind of fountain out. That's a really awkward, hard to do gesture, right? And they also have, the tulips seem to be, or at least these ones, seem to be one solid color, where the irises seem to have a little bit, they seem to be multicolored, and they seem to get a little bit lighter at the top of the petals. All right, now compare and contrast. Write how the tulip and iris are alike and different. So when we compare, we're telling how they are the same. Do they have petals? Yep. Are they both flowers? Yep. Do they both have stems? Yep. Do they both have leaves? Yep. Do they both have roots? Also, yes. Contrast, right? So we could just use these two examples, right? So how they're different. Number one, the tulips that we see here are red. Tulips come in like almost every color, though. Irises come in a lot of colors also. So right now, we know that the color of these ones are different. But what's another difference? Right, the shape of their petals. Their petal shape is much different. Yeah, their leaves are a little bit different. So there's a kind of similar shape. So you could see that the tulip ones, you can see there on the top. You can see it's kind of a pointy leaf, right? So that's actually kind of what the iris leaves look like, but the iris leaves don't flop down like this all cute. You want me to show you? I can show you. All right, let's go do it. Going on a field trip. So, I'm going to take you out to my backyard. Super exciting! Just so you know, we've been doing a lot of like gardening, so it's pretty messy. So, forgive me. All right, we're going over here to the one that didn't get chopped as much. So, and again, mine doesn't have flowers, but I promise it's an iris. My mom gave it to me. She's got really nice irises. All right, so here we go. Here is the iris leaves, right? So these ones look a lot different than the tulip leaves in your thing. So you'll notice like they come from this one base, and then you'll have just one big fat stalk that comes up, and it has, or at least this variety has lots of flowers on each big stalk. So that's the iris. So the leaves are different too, right? Cool. So that's what I got for you guys today. And then we will talk a little bit more in depth about plant parts. I do want to point out some cool things, right? So we all know about leaves. So I showed you the leaves on the iris. You saw the ones in the tulip. I'm going to show you a plant that has probably some of the weirdest leaves ever, right? Are you excited? I'm excited for you. This is also one of my favorite plants that I have. Right, this guy right here. It looks like a bunch of peas, but this is actually a plant. It's called a string of pearls. That's what most people call it. Senecio rowianus is the scientific name. But each one of those little balls, those little peas that you see, is actually a leaf. Crazy, right? So leaves come in all shapes and sizes, all colors. They're all crazy. So, anyway, hope you had fun touring my backyard. All right, we'll see you next time. Bye, guys.